It's a green. It's a green. It's a green. Thank you, gods of traffic lights, for giving me a green to begin the day with.
Better times are coming, cried Vincent. The worst of our suffering is over. The corn will ripen in the fields, and the sun will warm you as you sit before your homes. The children will run out to gather berries in the woods. Lift up your eyes, for the good things in life are in store for you. Better things are coming. Some words like these sparkle and glow, just as embers from a night fire do. But as commonly seen, those same embers cool down and lose their spark as they become one with the darkness.
The door was closed, brother.
After such hopeful words on page 76, it only took less than a half dozen more pages for the words to take a different tone. I will get to those in a while, but first, let me tell you how I ended up in the company of this book. It was a restless night last week, and I shared with a friend a small confession. I feel restless for not reading enough, I told her. But you're traveling, she reminded me gently. While it was true and reason enough, something in me was still longing for the company of words that are different from what I could find within the pages of this book, which was my ongoing read, light and amusing. "What do you want to read?" she asked. Her question made me reconsider and ask myself what it was I was truly seeking in the books. Without much thinking, I closed the pages of my current read and picked up another I had recently acquired, Lust for Life by Irving Stone, a biography of Vincent van Gogh, the Dutch painter. After confessing my restless search for a deeper read, sleep seemed to slip and vanish for the night. It was as if that longing, once acknowledged, spoken, and shared, demanded its answer. So, I stayed up in the silence of the night, in the room with a glass wall that overlooked many houses that were deep in sleep, as I simply sat and read until I lost track of the hours. Was it 2 in the morning? 3? It didn't matter. The first 90 pages I read so far had little of Vincent the painter and more of Vincent the heart-driven, impulsive young man. It had Vincent passionately drawn to a woman, unaware that her heart was already promised to another. After a series of episodes of failed attempts to meet societal expectations, life took him to a somber place called Borinage in Belgium, where men and women worked in the mines for wages that could barely cover their hunger. "Why not do something else?" he asked one miner. The miner replied, "There is no other thing for us. All we expect are better wages and conditions." And Vincent, who was there not to paint but to preach, could not bear to speak of God to these men without first knowing their suffering himself. So he gave up his comforts, choosing to live as they did, or perhaps even poorer. I knew so little of him beyond that famous painting I had often stumbled across on the internet, but this book, it was revealing Vincent to me. Each page a portrait painted in words, and that lingering question of what I sought in a book had its answer here, in these lines I promised to share. There was no job, no money, no health, no strength, no ideas, no desires, no ambitions, and worst of all, no pivot upon which to hang his life. He was 26, 5 times a failure, without the courage to begin anew. It is a striking contrast to the hopeful words I shared at the beginning of this letter, isn't it? Although I don't share Vincent's exact experience, my own life is far from his desolation, there was something hauntingly personal in those words. This is what books can do. They take you far beyond your own life, turn you into someone else, weaving you into the deepest of feelings and thoughts that belong to someone else. Perhaps that is what I was craving all along. To be moved, to feel deeply, to lose and find parts of myself in someone else's story. In these first pages, this book and Vincent's tale have given me all of that and freed me from the restlessness that haunted my recent days. And in what I read last, Vincent sketches a miner on the back of a letter from his father, a letter not filled with pride or warmth. Maybe this is the moment he glimpses his calling and would be the beginning of the painter he's known to be today. I will read on and see what more there is to find in his story. Before I end this letter, let me make a confession to you. I have been wanting and waiting to write back to you again, and it feels more than nice to get back to this most loving act of writing and writing letters. Until my next letter, take care, and may you keep the light of words close and going, and not struggle like I did. Your friend, Brooding Brook.